this is Teresa Duran from UEL. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to set up a new project in Premiere Pro. So I'm just going to open Premiere. This is the first window you're going to see when you open the program. If you have done some work before, you're going to see your projects listed over here. But I haven't done anything, so we don't see anything. To set up a new project, the first thing we do is to select here a new project. We're going to give it a name. And we're going to locate the project. Here where it says location, Premiere Pro by default is going to keep the project in this folder called Documents, which I'm going to show you where it is. This is a folder that is in the computer. It's here where it says Adobe. I'm going to double click and I go to Premiere Pro, and here we will see our project here. But we don't want that. We want to keep our project in our external hard drive. So to do that, I have to open this, select choose location. I'm going to select my hard drive. I already have a folder for my project. And then I have two folders. One is where my files are, but I don't want to mix things. So I've just created a folder called Premiere folder to keep my project. And I'm going to select the folder, and then I can press create. And now this window shows up. All this is sample media that Adobe is giving us for learning purposes. If we don't have material on our own, we can use this to practice. But we're going to skip this. So I'm just going to go and press skip. And now we are in Premiere. Now this interface might look different for you if you are opening Premiere for the first time. I'm going to show you what you will see. I'm going to Window, Workspaces, Learning. This is what you will see if you open Premiere for the first time. And this is the learning interface. We're not going to use this, okay? When we are editing, this is a bit distracting. It's not the base interface for us. So we're going to go to the top menu, Window, Workspaces, and select Editing. We go back to this interface. Here is quite easy to see where we're gonna import our media because it says here. So we're gonna select import media. There are many ways to import our media files, okay? But this is just one way. I'm gonna select my hard drive, project files. I'm gonna select them all and press import. And there they are, okay? We can see them as a list view, like now. We can make this bigger here. Or we can choose icon view, okay? And then if we double click, and if I double click, I can see in this window, whatever I have here, I can go back from here and go B-roll, double click, and everything is here. And now, I'm going to create a sequence. Sequences will be here. This is the timeline. This is where we're gonna do our editing. And there are many ways of doing this as well. So I'm just gonna show you the way I work, and which is if I wanna start with my B-roll, for example, I can just drag one of my files to the timeline, and that's gonna create a sequence. And then I'm gonna show you what I do. Okay, so as you notice, the sequence has been created. I have my video tracks here, audio tracks here, and this is the name of the sequence, which is the same name as the clip I have used, okay? But it's confusing. I want to have a name only for this sequence, and a unique name. I'm gonna go here, this is my sequence, but if I go to list view, I can see that the icon is different. So I'm gonna change the name. You just need to click twice and you can rename it. And I'm just gonna call it scene 1 because it's just easier. And now, if I go back, and I'm going back to list view, I'm gonna open, and I can see the scene 1 is here in the same folder as my first clip was, okay? But I don't want that either. I like to keep everything in different folders so everything is more organized. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to right click, select new bin, and I'm gonna call this sequences. And I'm gonna drag the scene number 1 into this new folder. So now everything is organized. Every time I create a new sequence, which you can do, you can create as many sequences as you want and have them open here. So I'm gonna create another one just to show you a different way as well. If I right click, I select new sequence from clip. I've got my new sequence here, a different clip. And as you can see, the same name, I'm gonna change it and I'm gonna call it scene 2. And I'm gonna keep it in my sequences folder. So now everything is organized, and you can see I have both open here. I can close them, go back here, double click, and they open again. Okay, and you can have 1 open or 2 or as many as you want. So this is basically how we set up a new project, how we organize our material in the project folder. So remember, anything, if your clips, if you double click on your clips, you will see the content up here in the source window. And anything you have in the timeline, you will see in the program window up here. You can also add clips from the source window. I can just drag this clip over here like that, okay? And you can also select from the source window, if I want to use, for example, the middle of this from this point. For example, I can press I on my keyboard, and then I'll go there. I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to press O on my keyboard, and I can just drag this selection down to the timeline. Okay? Or you can do that from the timeline. I'm here, I can just choose from here, so I can just trim my clip from one end and then do the same from the other end. And I will just have the same selection, but in a different way. And then I can just move this back. So different ways of working. I'm gonna leave it here. This is just meant to be a short video tutorial. You can write to me, you can email me, or put some comments down below this video if you have suggestions or you would like me to cover something else.